Welcome back. Tonight's story takes you to haunted places in New Jersey. Burlington County Prison has now been transformed into a museum, but that cannot erase the years of executions and murders within the walls, all of which have left a stain on the building. There is even a body buried on the site. The most active spots are said to be the basement and the death cell, with some of the reported phenomena including disembodied screams, cold spots, a feeling of being watched, and construction workers having their tools moved around. It seems to be increasingly common for old schools to be haunted, and one such location is Lambertville High School. The school has a tragic legend connected with it that began in 1935 with the death of a student from a rival school. It is said that a young boy died during the annual Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl football game when his neck was broken during a particularly rough tackle. As an interesting side note, the boy's parents petitioned for New Hope to ban football as being too dangerous, and to this day the school has no football team. Anyway, the spirit of this boy was said to haunt Lambertville High School from that day forward. The school closed in the 50s and soon became a popular hangout for local teens. It wasn't long before stories began to circulate about a ghostly figure appearing in the school. However, things took a tragic turn one night when some rowdy, drunk teens were making fun of the dead boy and issued him a challenge. Allegedly, two of the boys in the group died under unexplained circumstances that night, but it is difficult to find documented evidence of this. The school was demolished in 2012. But the hauntings persist, and those visiting the site where it once stood to say they have experienced cold spots and a general sense of uneasiness. Some have also spotted an apparition of the boy. With a name like Shades of Death Road, you should already have at least some small inkling of what you should expect from this spooky spot. The name alone is enough to prompt uneasiness among travelers. The road looks fairly pleasant by day, but those who venture this way after dark tell a different story. Shades of Death Road has a dark history, with the murder counts stacking up through the centuries, including the hanging of Native Americans and stagecoach robberies that have gone wrong. Many travelers have reported strange lights and apparitions of those who have met their end on this spooky stretch of road. Whenever a place is known as the Gates of Hell, you can be sure that there is some kind of horrifying tale connected with it, and this network of tunnels and storm drains in Clifton, New Jersey is no exception. It may or may not be an actual hell mouth, but regardless, it is a place that is bound to give you nightmares. Quite aside from the paranormal aspect, this creepy spot is extremely dangerous and is known to flood rapidly with foul-smelling water. The scary tales that relate to it include witnesses finding animal bones left over from sacrifices, strange whispers coming out of the darkness, hidden rooms, and of course that much-hyped portal to hell, which is said to be guarded by a spirit known as Red-Eyed Mike. This may be one of the most haunted places in New Jersey, but we would advise exercising extreme caution if you choose to visit. It has been suggested there may be more to fear from the living who frequent this spot than from the dead. The massive stretch of wilderness covers 7 counties in South Jersey and is certainly one of the most beautiful places in the state. Still, it has a dark side. Besides the real threat of a forest fire, recent reports show that a fire in the Pine Barrens could lead to one of the biggest fire-related disasters in history. The secluded area can be quite chilling at night and is said to be the stomping grounds of the Jersey Devil. There are various spooky legends that surround this creepy old tree in Bernards Township. Some say that it was routinely used for lynchings in the past, and there are also stories that a man murdered his family, and then came to the tree where he proceeded to hang himself. It is said to be cursed, and locals say that anyone who defaces or otherwise disrespects the tree ends up facing some kind of disaster. The strangest thing about the tree itself is that it is apparently warm to the touch, even in the dead of winter, and it is said that any snow that falls will instantly melt on and around the tree. Graystone Park Psychiatric Hospital opened in 1876 when it was originally known as New Jersey Lunatic Asylum. At the time, the imposing 675,000 square foot building was built on the largest continuous foundation in the world. It was built with the intention of housing hundreds of patients, but eventually, it managed to pack in over 7,500 patients. One of those patients was the famous songwriter Woody Guthrie, who was admitted for treatment of Huntington's disease in the 1950s. I want to thank you for watching. And until then, good night.